Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We're arriving at our destination shortly.
It's really a cool, I like the theme song. I don't know if it's really a theme song as more as a, hold on, boom, bitch. I don't know if it's really a theme song or if it's, you know what I'm saying. Like, I think it's pretty dope. You know, it's you all pumped up and then you listen to boring old me. It's like the exact opposite. The way, like, oh man, that song's pretty cool. And then, oh, it's him. Anyways, welcome back to the latest episode of the Airplane Show. My name is Greg. I'm going to be your trusted internet pilot tonight. And we are back once again with some more Microsoft Flight Simulator FS Academy. Let me just make sure. Okay, auto FPS is working right. And we also have GPU-Z up and working. All right, very good. I went in and did some of the camera tweaks already, so we shouldn't have to really tweak anything. The only thing I'm going to change right now is just the controls. Because I have the manual up this time too, like I said I was going to do. So I think the first plane is going to be the Cessna 152. So let me put this on condition. I really should change this one day from condition to props, but I'm not going to do that now. All right, let's go into activities. Hopefully everybody had a pretty good Sunday. My Sunday was pretty good, man. It was pretty good family day. We needed that. It was nice nice hanging out with the family for a while today. My daughter's sleeping over at her cousin's house tonight, so hopefully she'll enjoy that. And yeah, man. So we're gonna do VF. So my plan tonight, I want to do these two, Crosswind and VFR, and then I'm thinking about tackling maybe one or two of these. I want to start branching out and start doing more, you know, with some of these other ones. So, but we're gonna stick with some more VFR tonight because I've been enjoying this VFR stuff. All right, so we are using the Cessna 182. We're going from Toronto Center to Oshawa. And according to this, we're gonna take off, head directly south for a little bit, then swing up to the northeast, then hug the coastline, and then come in for looks like we're going to be landing on runway 30 at the code is, oh, you can see it here, Charlie Yankee Oscar. Anyways, let's get into this. Boom, bong, bong, bong. Hit follow, hit like, hit subscribe, become a member, do all that good shit. The more you interact with the screen you're looking at right now, the more it helps out the channel. Very much. I know we haven't been covering any news lately. It's because we've been doing this. You know, I never really wanted to cover news. I mean, I'll do it. I like covering the news, to be honest. I like talking. I have a very strong opinion on a lot of those items in the news right now, but I was only doing it to kind of fill time. We have this kind of stuff going on now, so this is all about aviation. So we might tackle some news tomorrow, maybe. There's been a lot of stuff going on this past week.
Flying VFR at night has some pros and cons, with some differences that you should be aware of. Conditions at night are generally better than in the day, with smooth air, lighter winds, and improved visibility. Lit runways and other traffic are easier to see. On the other hand, your visual references are restricted, with less ground features visible for navigation, and often the absence of a clear horizon. Follow this taxiway all the way to the full-length holding point for runway 08 here at Toronto City Airport.
Okay, let's go to the holding point. I still didn't change my chair. I should have, like I said, I should have chosen the other one, because whenever I push the rudder pedals, I start sliding backwards. All right, let's release the parking brake. Let me make sure my trim works right. Oh yeah, it does. Okay. All right, parking brake's off. Give it a little juice. Now I did switch the throttle up, because one of the planes is going to be the DA-40, and the DA-40 actually uses a lever, you know, like most airplanes.
As the light levels are so low, your night vision is important and needs protecting. White light quickly cancels your night vision, and it can take up to 30 minutes to fully restore it.
Keep on moving backwards.
Red-coloured light has a much lower effect, so any torches or cabin lighting is best if it's in a reddish colour, such as the Cessna 152 dome light here. We'll depart 08 and make a right turn, and you'll quickly see how the lack of the horizon forces you to rely more heavily on your instruments.
I might have to choose a different chair, right? I might have to go get a different chair right now. Hang on a second. Yeah, give me a second here. This is fucking ridiculous. Give me a second. Yeah, a different chair. Oh yeah, much better. Let me just make sure that I'm okay with the camera. Want to make sure the green screen starts a little off right now. See here. Oh yeah, much better. Now I can actually use the pedals, and I don't have to worry about slipping and sliding. Jesus. I wonder if there's. I'm gonna have to look and see if there's a way to stop those casters from moving. All right, let's restart real quick. Reese did call it many. God, I want to say months ago now. It's probably about a year ago now. Called me the king of restarts. He was like, up to that point, he never saw really anybody restart as much as me. I'm like, hey man, it's not a bad thing. It's like, I mean, if it don't feel right, it don't feel right. All right, where's my airplane at? Because I know I totally missed. All right, so we're taking off from runway 8. I'm not sure where we start from though. That's the thing. All right. Oh, we're right next to the tower. Oh yeah, we have a while to taxi. Okay.
Flying VFR at night has some pros and cons, with some differences that you should be aware of. Conditions at night are generally better than in the day, with smooth air, lighter winds, and improved visibility. Lit runways and other traffic are easier to see. On the other hand, your visual references are restricted, with less ground features visible for navigation and often the absence of a clear horizon. Follow this taxiway all the way to the full-length holding point for runway 08 here at Toronto City Airport.
Alright, park and brake off. Let's give it some juice. Oh yeah, much better.
As the light levels are so low, your night vision is important and needs protecting. White light quickly cancels your
Well, why don't you turn the dome light off, buddy?
It can take up to 30 minutes to fully restore it. Red-coloured light has a much lower effect, so any torches or cabin lighting is best if it's in a reddish colour, such as the Cessna 152 dome light here. We'll depart 08 and make a right turn, and you'll quickly see how the lack of the horizon forces you to rely more heavily on your instruments.
All right. I'd like to turn that dome light off now, buddy. Can we do that? Healthier.
Cessna Foxtrot Sierra Alpha Charlie, ready for departure, runway 08, departing circuit to the south.
Sierra Alpha Charlie, roger, cleared VFR not above 2,500 feet, cleared for takeoff runway 08, wind calm.
VFR not above 2,500 feet, cleared for takeoff runway 08, Sierra Alpha Charlie. Take off and climb towards 2,300 feet. We'll leave the circuit to the south.
See? To the south. It's good. The map is true to what it said. No, stay still thing. I just hit the left rudder and the whole thing shifted. No, stop it. I got short little legs, man. I can't be like digging for pedals. Like, hang on a second here. All right, there we go. All right, set and takeoff power. Right rudder, push forward. All right, full power set. Airspeed alive. 40 knots. 50 knots. Let's start pulling back on the yoke a little bit. All right. Flaps up. Yeah, we should have done flaps up yet until they... Ooh, look at the dome. That's cool. Toronto's really a pretty city. All right, do we start turning to the south now? I guess so.
You can bring the flaps up now that we're passing 300 feet above airfield level.
My bad, dude.
The climb attitude flaps up gives about 7 degrees nose up on the attitude indicator with 75 knots. Make a mental note of this for later. Now make a right turn to heading 180 and keep climbing to 2,300 feet.
Okay. All right, let's continue our climb to 2,300 feet.
Ontario in the dark, see how your horizon has already pretty much vanished. Shift your focus more onto your instruments, but remember we're still VFR and need to maintain a lookout. Keep heading 180 for now.
Gotcha, that's my bad, dude. Oh yeah, we need to pick up our speed a little bit too. Stick around 800 feet if we can, 800 feet per minute on the climb. So far, so good. Thing looks okay with the oil and the gauges. Ooh, 180, I got it, buddy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right, we're almost at 2,300
Level
feet.
off at 2,300 feet using the attitude indicator and VSI to set level flight. You can lead the mixture a little, set power for 100 knots and retrim. Sierra Alpha Charlie requests to leave the zone to the east en route Oshawa along the shoreline.
Sierra Alpha Charlie Roger, leave the zone not above 2,500 feet VFR, call at boundary.
Not above 2,500 feet VFR, Wilco, Sierra Alpha Charlie. We don't want to get too far out over the lake, so make a left turn to heading 020 back to the shoreline. This heading keeps us tracking the north shore of Lake Ontario, parallel the runway, and brings back a partial horizon with the streetlights off in the distance.
Very true.
Try to use both the partial horizon and the instruments to set and maintain an accurate straight and level. Take us back to the shoreline.
Got it, champ. All right, I think we kind of got it trimmed somewhat okay. Maybe, maybe not. Power looks okay. Mixture looks okay. Yeah, that's trimmed pretty good right there. All right, and then let me just look at this. All right, so we're going back towards Toronto St. Michael's Hospital. Oh no, that's where we already took off from. Okay. So going back to the shore, and then we're gonna, it looks like we're gonna be heading on a heading of 80 degrees maybe. Then once we see Oshawa, we're gonna turn northeast, like almost directly northeast, like probably like a heading of 20 probably. Actually looks like a heading of maybe 30. And then we're going to loop around for the landing. Okay, very good. And we're going to be landing on runway 30. Okay, very good. Probably more power. A little more trim. Maybe not that much trim. I think once we get pretty close to the shore here, we're going to be, like I said, heading along the shore there. I'm glad I went in before the flight and set up the cameras. That really bothered me last night that I had to go in there and do all that stuff for chase plane. Like I don't like doing that kind of stuff typically on stream. I mean, it's not bad to do it because it shows people, you know, if they have, it shows them a little behind the scenes stuff on these different mods that I have, you know, like chase plane so fly and stuff like that, but I ordered a steak tonight for dinner. I ordered a steak medium. And let me tell you something, man. Glory Days is a restaurant in Maryland. And let me tell you that
We're back at the shoreline, so make a right turn heading 060 to follow the shore eastbound.
they brought me that the first time they brought me the steak, man, the motherfucker was still mooing. It was seared nice on the outside. It had a nice sear on it. But then I cut into it.
Sierra Alpha Charlie, zone boundary outbound.
You can still see the white fat.
To Oshawa 120.
And I'm like, dude, medium is, you don't see white fat if it's a medium.
Frequency change approved.
There's our airport all the way up there.
On heading 060, and we'll switch over to Oshawa.
One thing I wish that they did here was let us do the comms or switch frequencies and stuff like that. But maybe that's how they do it in real life training too.
Traffic is easier to see at night thanks to the position lights, strobes, and landing light.
True. Like I said, we can see the airport all the way out here.
The position light is on the right wing and the red on the left. This makes deciphering the orientation easy, as the colour indicates which side of the aircraft you're seeing. If you see both red and green, you're approaching head-on. If you do encounter another aircraft head-on, you both make a turn to your right to increase separation.
It makes sense. It's like boats and cars.
The shore heading 060.
Okay. 06. I wonder if you could piss this guy off. Can you make him mad? Like, can you make this guy mad? Like, would he still sound 060? Oshawa. Heading on a heading of 060. It's a nice little airplane to fly. Dude, it feels so much better flying in this chair, dude. Like, oh my god. I mean, last night I was really sore from sitting in it all day at work. I try to stand up quite a bit during the day when I'm working. Like a lot of times when I'm talking to customers, I'll stand up. I like to use my hands a lot when I'm talking. And when I have to like type stuff in, I usually sit back down and, you know, I'm typing a fair amount of stuff, at first at least. Until I ask them if they're ready to get their policy started today, and then it's usually some sort of objection at first, which is fine. I don't expect most people to say yes right up front, not unless like I know we're really saving them money. Like if we're really saving them some money, which does happen a lot, I save people quite a bit of money on a regular basis. Look at a baseball field. Must be the Toronto Blue Jays. Kidding, I know it's not. It's the Expos. Oh, never mind. That was Montreal. But yeah, a lot of times people say no at first. You gotta do a little digging. What's holding you back from getting this fantastic coverage started? It's more expensive than I saw online. Probably true. However, when you're online, it doesn't take into consideration your driving history and other discounts that you may not qualify for. You know, typically when you're shopping online for car insurance, it's almost like looking at an advertisement for a car dealership when you're looking to buy a car. You know, they always give you like a price that only maybe one person will get. It's kind of the same with insurance. You know, depending on your vehicle.
If you look at 9 o'clock off the left wing, you can see up the centre line of the runway at Buttonville.
You can? I guess so. Maybe it's up there. There. Oh, right here. Yeah. Well, that's good to know. I don't know if I ever come back here or not, but
over the nose, we can see the flashing runway light at Oshawa Executive, which is where we're heading.
That's right.
Notice how airports
Hold on a
are
second.
much easier.
Hang on, it's my daughter. Give me a second. All right, we're good. Let me make sure I'm off mute. Sorry about that. My daughter called, sleeping over at her cousin's house, and wanted me to drive back over there and bring her food. I'm like, nah, man, I'm your dad. I'm not a delivery guy. If you want food, you could ask for money, and I'll give you some money. You can order something, but I am not driving 40 minutes round trip to bring you leftovers. Thank you.
Easier to pick out at night if they have lit runways. Unlit grass runways can be nearly impossible to spot, however.
That's
so
very
those
true,
airfields
narrator.
would only be operational during the day.
Going to die.
I'll get the weather for Oshawa. Normally an ATIS is available, but out of hours it's an automated weather observation system, AWOS.
Oshawa Automated Weather Observation System. Observation taken at 0150 UTC. Wind 270 at 4 knots. Visibility greater than 9. Sky condition view 3000. IFR approach RNP 30. Landing and departing runway 30.
IFR approach.
Temperature 15. 2.4.
That's not what we're doing.
29.92.
RNP 30.
Alright, so we now know it's runway 30 in use with a light headwind. The altimeter is already set to 29.92.
True.
The USA and Canada report an altimeter setting instead of a QNH, which is effectively the same but using different units.
It's true.
QNH is reported in hectopascals, and altimeter settings are inches of mercury.
Because we use the
Altimeters allow settings
imperial
from
system.
either system, as seen in our 152, with the millibar scale on the left and inches of mercury scale on the right. Canada VFR rules require 500 feet vertical separation when below cloud in uncontrolled airspace. Cloud is reported as few at 3,000 feet, so if we stick to cruising at 2,300 feet, then we know we're fine. The USA applies the same rule, but most other countries just require you to stay clear of cloud until above 3,000 feet.
Okay.
Keep flying us towards Oshawa, heading 060.
I am. Their dinner did look pretty good. Got a rack of ribs. Yeah, man, and it came with a piece of cornbread. Shit, I'm not driving. Man, it's dark as hell outside. It's 9 o'clock. I'm flying. I'm comfortable. I ain't going out tonight. You wouldn't do it either. I don't care. I don't care if your girlfriend called you. You wouldn't. You'd be Uber eating. Be sending her a delivery guy. Then wondering if they're living out some sort of wild porno. Oh, come on in. I have some. I have something under the hood for you to check out. My water pipes are stuck, I think. You unclogged my drain. Yes, ma'am. I'll be right there. Best Auburn unclogger this side of Mississippi. I think we're just going to continue to follow, because even when I looked at the VFR map, it looks like we're just still going to kind of follow the coast. And then at some point we're going to make like a really tight loop like we did yesterday, where we had that, like, when we were turning at like 500 feet, we made that turn back towards the runway, and then like as soon as we got lined up again, like the runway was like right there. Yeah, we're gonna start turning here pretty soon, according to what this chart looks like. Do we go in? Oh no, we're gonna make a turn towards probably 30 degrees here pretty soon. And we're gonna get close to the airport and then turn back towards it. Ooh, they got those ugly things here too? That doesn't surprise me. Those the windmills. They don't create any power. One of the biggest scams ever. Oops, shit.
Hold an altitude of 2,300 feet.
I know, I'm sorry, buddy. I was running my mouth. I'm sorry. I was looking at wind turbines and shit. I'm sorry. My bad. I was looking at wind turbines. Look on baseball fields. Cool. I need to get on like a Google Maps or something like that and see if they actually have, like, if those exist in real life.
Oshawa operates what's known as a mandatory frequency area. This means a radio
Mandatory,
is
not
required to fly
mandatory.
into or near the airfield.
Computer.
We're getting close to the Oshawa MF zone, so we'll call up and announce
Mandatory.
our position and intentions. Oshawa traffic, Cessna, Foxtrot, Sierra,
You guys could have
Alpha
at least
Charlie,
had somebody
10
actually
miles
record
southwest,
this.
2,300 feet.
Unless that's how they say it
inbound
over
landing 30
in Britain.
Oshawa.
Mandatory.
We know from the AWOS that it's runway 30 in use, which is a normal
It's an RNAV.
left-hand
It's an
circuit.
IFR landing, even though we're going to be doing
In other
VFR.
ICAO countries, we'd make an overhead join, descending on the dead side before joining the crosswind leg.
Mm-hmm.
The USA and Canada allow joining uncontrolled circuits straight into the downwind leg from a 45-degree intercept
That's
at
cool.
circuit altitude.
Never knew that.
The elevation at Oshawa is 460 feet, so start descending now to a circuit altitude of 1,500 feet, aiming for the center of the airfield.
That's pretty cool. I never knew that. Well, I guess that's not surprising. I wouldn't really know that. I'm not a real pilot, but that's good to know. It's cool that they have that where you can join on the dead leg, I guess is what they called it. Our room is at 1,500 feet. I remember I worked so many hours in this chair. This chair is so freaking comfortable. I got it from my parents' house. They gave me their old dining room chairs a while ago. These fuckers are so comfortable. My God. Alright, we're gonna pull mixture back in since we're gonna be at 1,500 feet.
Maintain 1,500 feet as the circuit altitude until turning base.
Okay.
Note that the runway lights we see up ahead is runway 05, but that's not the one currently in use.
That's true.
Oshawa traffic, Cessna, Foxtrot, Sierra, Alpha Charlie, joining mid-downwind 30, Oshawa.
Sounds very windy. Almost sounds like radio static. We should be turning here pretty soon. At least that's what the chart showed that I'm looking at here. Oh, we already made the turn towards here. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna make a U-turn here pretty soon. I guess that's the leg that we're gonna be joining on.
Okay, we're reaching the downwind leg. Turn right heading 120. Oshawa traffic, Cessna Foxtrot Sierra Alpha Charlie, downwind 30 Oshawa. Downwind checks, brakes pressured and released, undercarriage fixed, mixture full rich, fuel on and sufficient, instrument T's and P's are green, cabin is secure.
A cool little flight. I'm nervous about the next one. The next one's turbulence, I think, or abnormalities. There's our runway.
Looks like a good place for turning base. Start turning left, power back and commence your descent. Take flaps 10 when within the wide airspeed band.
Alright, 302 is the
A high-wing aeroplane such as the Cessna is great when en route
The
to have a
heading.
clearer view downwards towards the ground, but turning in the pattern can be a little bit more difficult. Configure the flaps and set your speed as appropriate.
pretty cool.
Oshawa traffic, Cessna Foxtrot Sierra Alpha Charlie, final 30 to land, Oshawa.
Almost center line, but we'll take it. We will take it. All right, training menu. Oh, I didn't want that menu. That was a pretty cool little flight. All right, now the next one for VFR is going to be crosswind, and we are in the DA. So that I am going to have to switch controls, but I can do that once we get into it. Well, they're going to be talking about drift angle. That's pretty cool. Yeah, we're gonna have to use the throw lever for this one. Oh. Yep, A42. I'm not DA42, DA40. Hold on, before you start talking. There we go.
As strong winds cause controllability problems in light aircraft, we can deflect the controls to help us. The wind here at Sombra is about 270 at 15, which is within the 20 knots crosswind limit of the DA40, but still enough to need our attention on the ground and in flight. A strong crosswind blows over the upwind wing and therefore generates lift. The fuselage mostly shields the downwind wing, so this uneven lift causes a downwind banking effect. A crosswind from the right would lift the right wing and potentially have us roll to
Sound
the left.
different when we went outside?
Therefore, apply into-wind aileron control.
Sure
to
does. That's a
counter this
cool
rolling
thing. That's pretty cool.
force. A wind from the left would do the opposite, so left aileron would be used. This works with a strong crosswind from anywhere ahead of the nose. With a crosswind from behind, apply the opposite control inputs.
All right.
Nose into wind, turn into wind. Nose out of wind, turn out of wind.
Okay.
We're pointing straight into the wind right now, so we won't apply any control input just yet.
All right.
Taxi to the left and cross runway 24 to reach the holding point for runway 33. The DA40 has a castering nose wheel, so use brakes to tighten your turn.
Okay, let's go. Brake and brake off. Hold on, the whole thing shifted. Might have to hold the unit like with my hand next time to keep it from sliding when I am on the ground turning. It's okay when I'm flying because I'm holding onto the stick, but
You're cleared to cross the runway, continue straight
oh good, I
on.
don't have to look.
Now we've turned, the wind is from behind and the right. Nose is out of wind, so we turn out of wind. Apply left aileron.
Nose out of wind, turn out of wind. Nose into wind, turn into wind. That makes sense. It does. To me, it makes sense. If your nose is into the wind and you're going into the wind, you need to turn into it. Otherwise, it's going to blow you out. Pretty good saying. Nose into wind, out of wind. Are you serious, guys? Really? We're not close enough? Alright, fuck it. Let's just go to the runway. Wonder if we're gonna go back up to the top of the runway. I don't like that the holding point is still there. I wonder if they're gonna make us go back and do that again. Yeah, because holding point is still showing. So that probably means they're going to make us go back and do that. I may have to restart this. It sucks. Yep, let me restart. Nose in, turn in. Nose out, turn out.
As strong winds cause controllability problems in light aircraft, we can deflect the controls to help us. The wind here at Sombra is about 270 at 15, which
Shit,
is
I gotta
within
change
the
this
20
again.
knots crosswind limit of the DA40,
The
but still enough
trim.
to need our attention on the ground and in flight. A strong crosswind blows over the upwind wing and therefore generates lift. The fuselage mostly shields the downwind wing, so this uneven lift causes a downwind banking effect. A crosswind from the right would lift the right wing and potentially have us roll to the left. Therefore, apply into-wind aileron control to counter this rolling force. A wind from the left would do the opposite, so left aileron would be used.
All right.
This works with a strong crosswind from anywhere ahead of the nose. With a crosswind from behind, apply the opposite control inputs.
Right.
Nose into wind, turn into wind. Nose out of wind, turn out of wind.
Say it with me, class.
We're pointing straight into the wind right now, so we won't apply any control input just yet. Taxi to the left and cross runway 24 to reach the holding point for runway 33. The DA40 has a castering nose wheel, so use brakes to tighten your turn.
Let me just change the trim real quick here. Second. Axis. Now scroll back. It should go back and forward. Okay, very good. All right, let's release the park and brake, and let's go.
Cleared to cross the runway, continue straight on. Now we've turned, the wind is from behind and the right. Nose is out of wind, so we turn out of wind. Apply left aileron.
Why am I applying any aileron right now? Maybe I have to do it on the ground just to practice, maybe. Well, I hope this works. If not, we'll just go to navigation.
Come to a stop here.
Okay.
We'll talk about the crosswind.
That's what they wanted us to do.
As we move around the circuit pattern, the wind correction needed will change after each turn.
That's dumb FS Academy, by the
Today's
way.
wind is from 270, marked by your heading bug on the HSI. Drift angle is related to your ground speed and the speed of the crosswind component. If travelling at 60 knots ground speed with a 20 knot crosswind, your drift angle will be 20 degrees. Double your ground speed to 120 knots, the drift angle will halve to 10 degrees. By applying a heading correction into wind that is equal to your drift angle, you will fly the required track. Keep your into-wind aileron inputs in whilst accelerating for takeoff, gradually reducing them towards neutral as your speed increases. Golf Foxtrot Sierra Alpha Charlie ready for departure for circuits.
Golf Alpha Charlie cleared line up and takeoff runway 33, wind 270 at 12.
Clear for takeoff runway 33, Golf Alpha Charlie.
It's so dumb they had us turn the yoke on the ground like that.
During the takeoff, apply left aileron, expect the nose to yaw into wind once the nose wheel lifts.
Okay. All right, let's go for takeoff. Power set. Knots. P1.
The nose is weathercocked into wind, but we're still tracking the centre line as the result of wind drift. Pitch for about 70 knots to get a good climb rate. There are obstacles and hills near to the runway. Flaps up.
Flaps up.
Make a left turn to the crosswind leg, heading 245. Level off at 1,000 feet circuit altitude and turn onto downwind, heading 152. Alpha Charlie, request extended downwind, low approach and go around.
Golf Alpha Charlie cleared low approach, runway 33, wind 270 at 13.
Cleared low approach runway 33, then request joining low level right downwind runway 24 for full stop. Golf Alpha Charlie.
Golf Alpha Charlie Roger, from the missed approach, enter right downwind, low level runway 24.
Roger, thank you. Golf Alpha Charlie. As the wind is now a tailwind, you're travelling more quickly over the ground, giving less time on downwind. We're going to fly further out on the downwind to give you a longer final approach. Keep going until I ask you to turn base. Downwind checks, brakes pressured and released, undercarriage fixed, mixture full rich, fuel on and sufficient, instruments in the green, cabin secure. With an extended downwind leg, you won't need to descend like you would with a normal circuit. When turning base, maintain circuit altitude and judge when to begin descending and taking flap visually. Okay, that should be far enough. Turn left onto the base leg. You'll have a tailwind in the turn, so expect to make one continuous turn onto final approach.
Hang on a second. Let me see what the runway says here for final approach, like what the heading is supposed to be. Looks like we're going... Let me see. Hang on. We took off on runway 33, so if we're going to be landing on the same... Oh, do we... Oh, it doesn't give us a VFR chart this time. I'm thinking it's 325 is the... Okay, we crossed runway 24, yeah. And we made a big loop. Yeah, okay, so 325 is the... 325 is the... what I should be looking for here. 25. Heading of 325.
Keep the turn going and line up with runway 33, remaining mindful of the terrain on final approach.
Easier said than done when you have all these clouds and shit. They still never really fixed that in this, where it still lights up in red. That's been doing that for years and years.
Point the nose to the left of the runway to account for the crosswind. Configure as needed.
I'm good at that. We do a lot of landings where we come across like we're kind of sliding in the side of it. I don't see the runway yet. Under you're too growing older. Oh, we're way off. You're the only one that like home. So you never know some secret. So found it. We really jacked up this training here. I wonder if the VOR was tuned for it.
Keep flying the approach and I'll call for the go around.
Oh, we're doing a go around anyways. All right. Oh, there's our runway right here. Shit, we are way off. Alright, we might have to restart. I don't really know if it's worth restarting though. Yeah, let's go around again and then come in for the landing and see what they do. I don't want to restart. Let's just fly around again. Get up to 1,000 feet again. Don't text and fly. go out a little bit again, and then we'll come in. Let's just go out to the edge a little bit farther out here. All right, I think we're okay. Let's make our turn back. Once again, I'm going to say I should look at the Google Maps and see if they really do have like hills and shit like that right here. Sure they do. They're coming in really fast, by the way.
Go around, nose to the horizon, full power, and set takeoff flaps.
Got it.
Level off at 500 feet, then make a right turn to track 055. Keep the flaps at takeoff.
Okay. Do that.
Keep 500 feet and turn right onto track 055. That's a right downwind for the short runway 24. Downwind checks, brakes pressured and released, undercarriage fixed, mixture full rich, fuel on and sufficient, instruments in the green, cabin secure. For a short field landing, we need to be more accurate with our touchdown and choose an earlier aiming point. Once we're down, apply strong braking to come to a stop in the shortest distance.
Trying to get back down to 500 feet again.
Golf Alpha Charlie ready for base 24 full stop.
Golf Alpha Charlie cleared to land, runway 24, wind 270 at 50.
That's a different runway, I think.
Cleared land 24 Golf Alpha Charlie.
Hey, that's a different
Make a
runway.
right turn onto final for runway 24.
That's 235.
Now choose an early aiming point on runway 24, such as the first centerline marking. Get fully configured with full flap and keep the speed back.
I don't really see the runway. I think I see it.
Make a positive touchdown and get onto the brake straight away. Aim to stop before the second exit on the right.
Yeah, this is like a really short runway that we're landing on. Bad landing. Alright, we fucked that up. Try it again. How long have I been streaming for? Let me see. I think we're gonna redo this whole thing. Let's redo it. I wanna do it properly. You just gotta remember to turn the yoke again. I wish we could skip like part of it.
As strong winds cause controllability problems in light aircraft, we can deflect the controls to help us. The wind here at Sombra is about 270 at 15, which is within the 20 knots crosswind limit of the DA40, but still enough to need our attention on the ground and in flight.
So is.
A strong crosswind blows over the upwind wing and therefore generates lift. The fuselage mostly shields the downwind wing, so this uneven lift causes a downwind banking effect.
My bad, sorry about that.
A crosswind from the right would lift the right wing and potentially have us roll to the left. Therefore, apply into-wind aileron control to counter this rolling force.
Counter this rolling
a wind
force.
From the left would do the opposite, so left aileron would be used.
So left aileron
this
will be used.
This works with a strong crosswind from anywhere ahead of the nose. With a crosswind from behind, apply the opposite control inputs. Nose into wind, turn into wind. Nose out of wind,
turn out of wind.
We're pointing straight into the wind right now, so we won't apply any control input just yet.
Okay.
Taxi to the left and cross runway 24 to reach the holding point for runway 33. The DA40 has a castering nose wheel, so use brakes to tighten your turn.
And when we get to the holding point again, we gotta turn the yoke all the way to the left. Left.
Now we've turned, the wind is from behind and the right. Nose is out of wind, so we turn out of wind. Apply left aileron.
Yep, we will. There's really no reason to use the aileron now, though. We're on the ground. But we're gonna use it because we have to. Pass your test, buddy. All right, let's get to the holding point again. And now let's turn this all the way to the left.
Come to a stop here and we'll talk about the crosswind circuit. As we move around the circuit pattern, the wind correction needed will change after each turn. Today's wind is from 270, marked by your heading book on the HSI. Drift angle is related to your ground speed and the speed of the crosswind component. If travelling at 60 knots ground speed with a 20 knot crosswind, your drift angle will be 20 degrees.
Yes, I
Double
agree.
your ground speed to 120 knots, the drift angle will halve to 10 degrees.
Yes.
By applying a heading correction into wind that is equal to your drift angle, you will fly the required track.
Yes.
Keep your into-wind aileron inputs in whilst accelerating for takeoff, gradually reducing them towards neutral as your speed increases.
That makes sense.
Golf Foxtrot Sierra Alpha Charlie ready for departure for circuits.
Golf Alpha Charlie cleared line up and takeoff runway 33, wind 270 at 12.
Clear for takeoff runway 33, Golf Alpha Charlie. During the takeoff, apply left aileron, expect the nose to yaw into wind once the nose wheel lifts.
Got it. Hey, takeoff power set. Airspeed's alive. B1. Proteins.
The nose is weathercocked into wind, but we're still tracking the centre line as the result of wind drift. Pitch for about 70 knots to get a good climb rate. There are obstacles and hills near to the runway. Flaps up. Make a left turn to the crosswind leg, heading 245. Level off at 1,000 feet circuit altitude and turn onto downwind, heading 152.
All right. 152 it is, buddy.
Golf Alpha Charlie, request extended downwind, low approach and go around.
Golf Alpha Charlie cleared low approach, runway 33, wind 270 at 13.
Cleared low approach runway 33, then request joining low level right downwind runway 24 for full stop. Golf Alpha Charlie.
Golf Alpha Charlie Roger, from the missed approach, enter right downwind, low level, runway 24.
Roger, thank you. Golf Alpha Charlie.
All right.
As the wind is now a tailwind, you're travelling more quickly over the ground.
Guess
giving
so.
less
Yeah, I
time
guess it
on
is a tailwind.
downwind. We're going to fly further out on the downwind to give you a longer final approach.
Okay.
Keep going until I ask you to turn base.
Okay.
Downwind checks, brakes pressured and released, undercarriage fixed, mixture full rich, fuel on and sufficient, instruments in the green, cabin secure. With an extended downwind leg, you won't need to descend like you would with a normal circuit. When turning base, maintain circuit altitude and judge when to begin descending and taking flap visually.
All right. Very good. Are we turning around soon? I want to do some navigating. I want to get to the Navigator section.
Okay, that should be far enough. Turn left onto the base leg. You'll have a tailwind in the turn, so expect to make one continuous turn onto final approach.
I believe it's 335 or something like
Keep the turn
that.
going and line up with runway 33, remaining mindful of the terrain on final approach.
First time around, I completely missed that.
Point the nose to the left of the runway to account for the crosswind. Configure as needed.
Okay. Yeah, first time I completely missed the runway. There it is, right there. I don't know how I missed it the first time.
Keep flying the approach and I'll call for the go-around.
Trying to get us in the flat range. Oh, we're in flap range. I was looking at the wrong indicator. I should have been looking at the analog one. we're not doing so hot on this one either. But hopefully we'll get the go around, the go for the go around.
Go around, nose to the horizon, full power, and set takeoff flaps.
I didn't think we were going to stall out. I thought our
Level
flaps
off
would have
at
been okay.
500 feet, then make a right turn to track 055. Keep the flaps at takeoff. Keep 500 feet and turn right onto track 055. That's a right downwind for the short runway 24. Downwind checks, brakes pressured and released, undercarriage fixed, mixture full rich, fuel on and sufficient, instruments in the green, cabin secure. For a short field landing, we need to be more accurate with our touchdown and choose an earlier aiming point.
That's for sure.
Once we're down, apply strong braking to come to a stop in the shortest distance.
All right, we're getting there.
Golf Alpha Charlie ready for base 24, full stop.
Golf Alpha Charlie cleared to land, runway 24, wind 270 at 15.
Cleared land 24, Golf Alpha Charlie. Make a right turn onto final for runway 24.
That's 235. At least that's the heading of the runway.
Choose an early aiming point on runway 24, such as the first centerline marking. Get fully configured with full flap and keep the speed back. Positive touchdown and get onto the brake straight away. Aim to stop before the second exit on the right.
Got it. What? How do we miss the runway again? Oh, you son of a bitch. We're going with it. It's training. Decent landing on the grass. I was aiming for what I thought looked right, but then as we got up there, I guess it wasn't right after all. Maybe we'll do that one again someday. All right, score doesn't really matter. Let's go, let's try one of the Navigator ones. I may have to go practice that a little bit, actually. Come in and just do some visual circuits for that runway 24, because I just could not get it lined up. Obviously, I could not get it lined up. I didn't really know where to look at on the ground. That's a shame. It kind of bothers me a little bit, because I try to, I try to do good things when I'm flying, man. I don't like messing up. Sucks. All right, let's see what we got in store now. Let me bring up the Navigator documents here. I think we're using the Cessna 152. Yes, we are. All right. So let's do activities. Let's try one of these Navigator ones out. I might have to change the controls once we get into it. I don't think I can change them from here. No, I can't. All right, commence your exploration into the world of VFR navigation by getting to grips with the range of ground features available to you. For route planning, see the pros and cons of line, point, and area features with a tour of the UK South Coast on a warm summer's day. Line, road, railway, coastline, power line. Point, landmark, bridge, junction, airfield. Area, town, city, woodland, lake. Very cool. All right, let me put this on edition again. There we go.
Go easy on the controls. Welcome.
Go easy. Shut up, dude. All right, we'll restart. We'll restart then. King of restarts. We're restarting again. Go easy on. That's the first time I think he's yelled at me. If you want to say that's a yell, it's the first time he's ever raised his voice to me.
Welcome to FS Academy Navigator. Cross-country navigation is one of the most rewarding experiences in aviation, and that's exactly what we're going to cover in this series.
All right, that's cool.
We'll start by demonstrating how the different types of ground features we can use for navigation look from the air, then build up to more sophisticated techniques, including controlled airspace, drift corrections, and challenging conditions. It's a warm summer's day over the UK's south coast, with some haze and light clouds. Great conditions for commencing our exploration of VFR navigation. VFR standing for Visual Flight Rules.
All right.
Keep following the coast eastbound at 2,500 feet, and we'll take a look at how to select and use ground features for navigation. Navigation in its basic form is stringing together a series of landmarks that are easily visible from the air. There is a wide range of useful features that you can select as waypoints, which can be divided into three main categories.
Look, I just touched the trim and you see how it jumped?
Points and areas. On your left
I hate that it does that. It does that almost every single time with every airplane.
The line feature gives very accurate guidance in a single dimension. This is to say that when following a coast, as we are at the moment, we have a very clear indication of our lateral tracking, as it's immediately obvious if we are to the left or right side of the coast. However, following a straight line gives little information in terms of distance, unless there is a standout feature along the line, such as a town, harbour, pier, or other distinctive landmark. Up ahead, we see that the coastline has a sharp bend to the left, which is just the kind of easily visible and unmistakable characteristic that we look for when selecting waypoints at the planning stage. Fly along the coast until we reach the sharp bend, known as Selsey Bill.
Selsey Bill?
Aim to keep us at 2,500 feet.
Yep, that's what it says here, Selsey Bill. I'm trying to get the coastline of some food in my stomach. I didn't really eat much dinner. I just had a little bit of my dinner. Man, I'm hungry now. We're gonna do this one navigator and then we're gonna be done. Come back tomorrow and do some more. This is fun. I feel like it's fun to fly again. Like I wasn't really having fun lately flying. I'm kind of bored just flying the same kind of airplanes all the time. And I feel kind of weird saying that in some respects because I have a lot of airplanes to choose from, but like, just kind of get bored. This is fun, man. This is it's a challenge. I'm learning, which I love. I love learning. I'd love to be able to go back to college and finish getting my degree. At some point I will. Unless there's like nuclear fallout everywhere. But once my kids aren't so resilient, once my kids aren't so reliant on me, I would like to go back and get my and finish my degree.
Now please make a 180 turn to the left to follow the coast in the other direction. On our left, we see the coastline. It's typically best to keep a line feature to your left side, as this makes it easiest to see from your seat.
Makes sense.
Aircraft following the same line should also be doing this, which gives some assurance of separation. You could follow a coastline for many hours, giving high confidence in lateral tracking, but unless your destination is also coastal, this is unlikely to be your most direct route.
True.
Continue ahead towards the disused airfield at Thorney Island, a good example of the next type of ground feature, the point feature. Point features are distinct landmarks which provide a single accurate location.
All right.
These are usually most useful as turning points, as they give an exact spot on the ground at which you can accurately commence the next leg of your route.
Sounds good.
They do not provide any guidance until they're in view, so distances between 2-point features is limited to your visual range. Disused airfields can be a useful tool, particularly in the UK, as there are many of them scattered across the landscape. Being out of service, there's also no air traffic control or airspace considerations for flying directly over them, unlike an active airfield.
Whoa,
However,
turbulence.
their appearance varies greatly. Some, such as Thorney Island, are readily visible, as the runways are still present and are paved, which contrasts well with their surroundings. Other examples may be difficult to pick out. They might lack the original runways and may be redeveloped for other uses, such as farming, storage, or housing. Take us towards Thorney Island just up ahead.
Oh.
Notice how, as you get close to a feature, it becomes obscured by the aircraft's nose.
No shit.
As you get near, you could
Never
make a
noticed that.
slight deviation to the right in order to keep the feature visible, but being cautious not to harm the accuracy of your turn onto the next leg.
Makes sense.
It can also be useful on the approach to a point to select a spot alongside, so that you can more
Yeah.
accurately judge when you've
Makes
reached an
sense.
overhead.
Pick something parallel to it that's nearby. Makes sense. We're gonna make another turn here in a moment. Got a little bit more to do on this lesson here. Here's the airfield.
Overhead Thorney Island now. Please make a left turn towards Portsmouth and we'll look at the next type of waypoint, the area feature. Up ahead we have the city of Portsmouth, situated on Portsea Island. Portsmouth is a very historic military city, having been a huge part of the Royal Navy since 1194, and is home to about 2/3 of the Navy's surface ships.
That's cool.
Towns and cities are typically too large to be considered as a single point, but their large dimensions do make them more visible from a distance. It is often most useful to select a point feature that is within an area feature. This could be a
that makes
landmark
sense.
building, major road junction, or perhaps a sports stadium.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The large area feature gives visibility from a distance, and then when you get nearer, the point feature provides accuracy. Other examples of area features are industrial facilities and large lakes, each with their own benefits and limitations, which you'll experience throughout Navigator. Keep us on our way to Portsmouth, and we'll pick out a point feature once we get nearer.
And from Portsmouth, we're going to be going.
As we get nearer to
We're
the
going to be
city,
making a
we
big
can
turn.
pick out a local landmark, the Spinnaker Tower. Designed to represent the spinnaker sail of a ship, the Spinnaker Tower is a tall, distinctive building that is prominently visible beside the water. This makes it a natural choice for a visual reporting point, VRP.
All right.
VRPs are officially recognized and shown on VFR maps,
That is true.
chosen for their easy recognition. Take us over the Spinnaker VRP.
And we're going to be heading, it looks like, due north after that.
Notice how densely populated Portsmouth is, with rows and
Yeah.
rows of terraced streets. Choosing a particular street would be challenging, even for those familiar with the area,
Terraced
making them
streets.
unlikely choices for a point
Didn't know they
feature.
were called terraced streets, but I wonder why they're called terraced streets. I don't know how that started in the UK. If anybody knows, hit it up in the chat. Nobody's watching chat anyway. Well, there's nobody chatting anyways, so. But if anybody knows how that got started, let me know. I'm sure by the time you hear this or see this part of the video, I'm going to already know the answer, but feel free to comment anyways. Nobody ever chats. Nobody loves me. That's all right. I'll be my biggest fan. I've said it many times. I don't care if anybody watches or if a million people watch. I'm still going to be doing the same damn thing. But instead of just sitting here kind of watching YouTube videos and other stuff I don't really care about right now, I can concentrate on flying and I can run my mouth, which two things I like doing. All right, we should be getting ready to head due north any moment now.
Now please make a turn to the right to head north.
M27 motorway, all right. Vroom, vroom, bitch.
We'll now look at crossing a line feature rather than following along its length.
All right.
As line features are single dimension, as we discussed earlier, if we plan to cross over the line, we get little to no lateral guidance as we approach.
This part of the lesson's almost over.
But we do now get very accurate distance information, as we know the exact moment that we cross the line, in this case the M27 motorway. This can be very useful for checking timings to see if the flight is progressing at the expected speed.
Makes sense.
Major discrepancies can indicate a change in the wind.
Could be.
Fly north until we reach the M27 motorway.
Then we're going to be heading pretty much, I would say like a heading of 280 it looks like. Could be 270. Looks like 280 to me though. Always redo that one bush trip, that California bush trip that I talked about last night. I think that'd be fun to do again with like the yoke setup and all that instead of using my Xbox controller. All right, we're getting ready to pass over it. It's right there.
Crossing directly overhead to the M27 from a 90-degree angle. Using line features in this way can help when lost, as you can head towards the line, knowing that you will eventually meet it, from which point you can work out where along the line you are.
It's true.
Now turn left to follow the M27 westbound, keeping it on your left.
Bit of right rudder.
Level the wings here and we can see the motorway stretching off into the distance,
It's
which
true.
would be an easy line feature to follow. So now we've had a look at the various types of features that can be chosen as reliable
Line point
waypoints.
area.
Throughout Navigator, we'll introduce concepts such as wind drift and the navlog, plus explore some of the varied landscapes that you will come across, such as mountain valleys, snow-covered countryside, and a dark night in the desert.
Okay.
Next, we'll look at stringing a series of waypoints together to form a basic route.
Cool. We did it. Let's see if they have that bush trip here. Yeah, this is the one I'm talking about. Breckenridge to Mariposa. There's 25 of these things. Wow. But yeah, this one you have to use the ground. Like, there's no way to get around. Like, that, or you can cheat and, like, watch a video. But, like, the rest of these, usually you have navigation. Like, you can just put on the autopilot, and that's that. That yellow plane, man, there is no autopilot with that thing. No map to follow, except the little VFR map they give you. All right. Stepping stone. String a series of waypoints together in a route. Let's see what it says here. We'll do this one and then we'll call it a night. Okay, so we have transponder. It goes over to different codes. And then we have our VFR map. Oh, we're going to be flying over San Francisco. That's pretty cool. So Golden Gate, Point San Pablo, Casillas Bridge, Benicio Martinez Bridge. Yeah, let's do this one real quick. This one looks pretty dope. Okay, very good. Yeah, let's try this one out. Bong 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 bong. I eat a bong 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 bong. All right, let's do it. Make sure I didn't get a text message. Oh, we're good. All right, let's
Welcome back. We're flying on a warm summer's evening just to the northeast of San Francisco Bay. We're going to look at stringing a series of navigation features together to form a basic route towards the city. We'll start off by following the Highway 80 towards Vacaville, which is just up ahead. We're going to start to introduce the importance of accurate flying in order to ensure reliable navigation. First, please make sure that we start off at precisely 3,000 feet, as we're going to look at accurate altitude holding.
all right. Sounds good to me.
We're going to fly underneath some of the controlled airspace that surrounds San Francisco International.
All right.
This allows us to navigate and make turns as we wish without having to deal with ATC and other traffic at this busy international airport. When flying beneath airspace, we have to maintain accurate altitude control. If we get sloppy and accidentally climb up into the floor of the airspace above us, inadvertently we would pose a safety risk to jetliner traffic.
Kind of like what happened with that helicopter and that CRJ airplane a while ago down at Reagan International in DC.
So that you get into the habit of flying with precision, as this will be an important aspect of navigation. Keep us at 3,000 feet and fly us to the far side of Vacaville, where the highway leaves the city.
All right. But I don't understand, like, even if we're at 3,000 feet, I mean, if we're flying near where planes are taking off and landing from, I mean, we're going to have to, like, I mean, even though we're doing VFR, they still have to know where we are. You know what I mean? Like, we still have to report in, I would think, right? So we don't, like, get into an accident. And that would make sense to me. I could be wrong with that. Maybe I'm wrong. I'll have to do some more reading. I never really cared to read about it before because I didn't really need to pay attention to it in the simulator. And now that we're in class, you know, I want to make sure I know what I'm doing. I want to know why I'm doing what we're doing. I just don't want to do it just to do it. I want to know the reasoning behind it. Like, I understand that 3,000 feet is like the top or VFR, you know, without posing any immediate threat, you know, the airspace, but still. I was thinking about flying into that hurricane, but the last couple of times I've flown into a hurricane on the simulator here was very disappointing. Very disappointing. I tried to fly into it a little bit today with on 2024 on my Xbox, and there was a lot of clouds, but it's never really been windy. Like, that's my main deal. Like, I want it to be windy enough to where, like, you know, it's almost rolling the airplane. Did I roll an airplane? Actually, I think I did one time, actually. Flip an airplane. I think I was using a Cessna like this, and I flew it into one of those hurricanes last year. Ooh, maybe we can see Lars Ulrich's house from here. Lars, take me on tour with you. Give me 10 grand a night, and I'll play 2 songs for you. What do you want me to play? Seek and Destroy, Master of Puppets, The Unforgiven, whatever you song, 2 songs you want me to play, Lars. It'd be 5 grand per song.
Looking to the left, we can see the large city of Fairfield. Make a left turn to head for the southwest corner of the city, again following Highway 80.
Hey, there's Highway 80 right there in front of us. Should probably redo that one bush trip, that California one, and stream it.
Following the highway keeps us clear of the military airspace to our left, which surrounds Travis Air Force Base.
Because that one's pretty confusing.
By looking at the route map, which we will have prepared in advance. Choosing reliable features helps us stay clear of any airspace conflicts, but be mindful of other aircraft doing the same thing. Keeping a good lookout for traffic is an important part of VFR navigation. We are not under the supervision of ATC, so seeing and avoiding other aeroplanes is entirely our responsibility.
See, that doesn't make sense.
We can see the large area feature of Fairfield from a good distance, which we will focus down to a point feature by an industrial region at the other side of town. Which
doesn't make sense to me. Like, if an airplane is coming in at San Francisco,
we're not going directly over the town center, as we always want to have the possibility to be able to glide to a safe landing spot.
Are they higher than 3,000 at this point? And maybe they are.
Staying to the edge of town allows us to keep our options open. Take us to the edge of town, where you'll see the industrial warehouses and some wind turbines.
Ugh. Wind turbines, what a fucking scam that is. Those wind turbines, they are the worst thing for the earth. One of the worst things, other than China and India. China and India might be worse for the earth than wind turbines, just because of how much pollution they put into the air. I don't mind them putting carbon, CO2 in the air. That's fine. We need carbon to live. You know, not according to what you know, the scammers, the blue scammers think. You know, they think carbon's a bad thing, but nope. More carbon, the more stuff grows. The more carbon, the more oxygen we have. They want to block out the sun. Bill Gates wants to do that for sure. He wants to... I think he's already got the technology in the atmosphere, to be honest with you. I think he's been doing it for years. Probably a DARPA thing from the government. I should probably shut up before I get, like, somebody knocking on my door. But yeah, I think all that shit. Like, they're trying to, you know, they're putting stuff in the atmosphere to black out the sun. I think the worst thing that we're doing right now is AI. I have a horrible, like, gut feeling that something like what happened in the Terminator where there was like a nuclear holocaust, I have no doubt in my mind that AI is going to be the reason for that. It's going to somehow log into the systems in somebody's country and launch a bunch of nuclear missiles. Or it's going to get into the AI is going to get into the technology of a submarine, and launch from there.
Our next waypoint is going to be the Benicia Martinez Bridge, just off to our left. Make a left turn here to point us towards the bridge.
Little rudder. Little right rudder. I don't want to do that, the other VFR tonight, but that's going to be 30-some minutes. I don't know if I want to sink that much more time into flying tonight.
As you can see, this is a pretty basic
the bush trip.
visual navigation. We simply steer towards a waypoint that we can see, and once we arrive there, steer to the next waypoint, like stepping stones.
Ah, hence the
This
name.
method is
Roll
simple
credits.
and easy to follow, but doesn't have very good accuracy, making it most suited to local flying areas that you're all familiar with. It is also unlikely to be the most direct route to your destination, as we're limited by having to choose waypoints which are within view.
Kind of feel bad now I didn't bring my daughter the food, but I kind of feel bad because it's my daughter. Like, I don't want her to go hungry, but part of me doesn't feel bad either. Like, she could have taken them with her. I offered, but I think we both kind of forgot when I pulled up to the house tonight to drop her off. But
This is a good time to talk about altitude.
sure.
There are two main ways that we refer to how high we are flying: altitude and height. Most of the time we reference our altitude, which is our vertical distance above mean sea level, AMSL. Our height is our vertical distance above ground level,
Oh, interesting.
ADL, which
Didn't know
becomes
that.
more relevant when flying near high terrain. Just before we reach the bridge, we'll be entering what is called a transponder mandatory zone, TMZ.
Mandatory.
which
Do they
means
really
we
say
have
that
to
over
have
like
a
that in England?
transponder in order to
Mandatory?
fly in that area. The transponder can be seen at the bottom of our radio stack and works by broadcasting some basic information about us, such as our altitude and the code that we have set our transponder to, known as our squawk.
Squawk.
We have a squawk of 1200 set, which is the designated squawk for flying under Visual Flight Rules, VFR, known as the conspicuity code.
All right, maybe mandatory
ATC
is how
can
they
see
say
our
it over
position
there
on
then.
radar, to which our transponder adds altitude information and our squawk
Oh,
code.
okay, well at least they can see
So
us.
to give the
That's good.
controller more information about us. This type of transponder is known as Mode C.
That's true. Knew that.
More advanced transponders, known as Mode S, can provide much more data, such as our aircraft type,
Like the
speed,
Bendix system
and
that's in some of the
autopilot
airplanes where it's got the
settings.
digital
They
screen.
can even communicate with other aircraft's transponders in order to avoid collisions.
That's cool.
Our more simple Mode C system fitted to our Cessna 152 is more than enough for our purposes and allows us to enter the TMZ surrounding San Francisco.
Alrighty, that's what you say, buddy. What you say, what you say. We're gonna head here. I think we're heading to one more bridge and then the Golden Gate Bridge, and then that should be it for this this trip here. Never heard of this bridge before. The Benicio del Toro Rodriguez Martinez Bridge. Dang, you can see my bridge. That's racist, Greg. Maybe. Not really. But I think it is. Okay. I don't think it is. I think it's kind of funny. Oopsie.
We're just going to aim for the northern ends of the bridges, as the other side of the water is quite close to the edge of the airspace surrounding Buchanan Field Airport, which we need to avoid.
Yeah, I see that airfield actually on the left
There are
there.
actually 3 bridges here, 2 for road and 1 for rail, allowing traffic to cross the Carquinez Strait.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's a good idea. What is empty oil drums down there? I thought California didn't have any water. Like, why do they got all this water here if California not supposed to have water? We're going to head right.
Great. Now make a right turn towards another set of bridges, the Carquinez Bridge. The pair of bridges coming up are an example of old and new. One is a cantilever type bridge, and the other a more modern suspension bridge. Built to cope with increased traffic volume,
Oh.
the suspension bridge carries
coping.
southbound traffic and is better suited to seismic activity, as the suspended roadway allows some sway.
He's coping.
Large bridges like these make great point features as they are easy to spot, contrast well with the water, and are often of unique design.
Very
Some
true.
can be very tall, stretching
Like we used to have with the Key Bridge until somebody ran it over. Somebody ran over the Key Bridge.
We also have the San Francisco Bay ahead of us.
Oh.
This entire bay area took a long time to become developed, as explorers
Now they have a bunch of
repeatedly
human
missed
shit
the
all
narrow
over the
and
ground.
recessed entrance,
But
now
don't
known
worry,
as
the
Golden
mayor
Gate.
and the governor said they're going to clean it up. Sure you are. You don't want Trump's help. Big mistake. Should have let Trump go in there with the National Guard and clean up your city. San Francisco is a beautiful city, and now you got people living and shitting on the ground there, right in the middle of the city. San Francisco is the home of Metallica. Like, the fuck? Get in there, Trump. Fix that city. How many balls are in the water from Barry Bonds in that city? It's the home of Steve Young, Joe Montana, Ronnie Lott. I don't really know any Giants players other than Barry Bonds. I remember when he was on Pittsburgh. Saw him play at Pittsburgh Stadium once, many years ago. He was on the Pittsburgh Pirates. That's a pretty cool stadium, actually, that Pirate Stadium. I think they've changed it now. I don't think it's the same as it was when I was growing up. I mean, you're talking like a gazillion years ago. All right, where are we going to now? We're going to make a left. Cantilever Bridge.
To our left, we can now see our next stepping stone, Point San Pablo, where the land juts out from Richmond, the second strip of land. Turn us to the left and take us to Point San Pablo.
Got it. There's like an oil field down there. Seeing that reminds me of
We've been maintaining 3,000 feet for quite a while now. We're going to dip just a little lower, which will keep us clear of the main controlled airspace for San Francisco, which will be coming up shortly and stretches from 3,000 feet upwards. In order to remain below the base of this airspace, we'll make a small descent to 2,800 feet, which will altitude as a safety margin.
Seeing that oil field reminds me of that city building game. Was it called Skylines? City Skylines, I think, what it was. I know Skylines
Alright,
2
this altitude will keep us clear of
had
the
tons of
controlled
issues,
airspace,
but
which
the first one
begins
was
just
dope as hell.
beyond Point San Pablo.
On the
Now, please
PlayStation, I
keep
think
us
I
at
have every DLC on the
2,800
PlayStation
feet
for that.
as accurately as
Shame I
possible.
don't use the PlayStation anymore though, since I got the Xbox. Seriously, ever since I got the Series X, I haven't turned my PlayStation on maybe more than once or twice. A couple of times to play like Call of Duty with my son, or you know, do something like that. But other than that, man, like, really nowadays I don't even play games anymore. I do the flying like we're doing now. Every once in a while I do a little bit of flying, you know, on my own. But typically the only time I fly is when I'm, you know, doing this, streaming. Every once in a while I'll play another game for 20 minutes. Like right now I like the supermarket game where you're like, you know, you're in a supermarket and you're bringing up groceries all day. That game's fun. Blueprints I've been having fun with.
I'm now going to add a second dimension to your manual handling by asking you to maintain not only your altitude, but also a specific speed of 100 knots.
That's okay, I can do it. I'm a pilot.
Speed control will be important as we progress to longer route legs, which are based on accurate timings. Please set us up at 100 knots whilst maintaining 2,800 feet. 100 knots is a comfortable cruising speed for the Cessna 152 and will make for easy time calculations in later lessons. Maintain both 2,800 feet and 100 knots all the way to Point San Pablo.
Yeah, Blueprints has been fun. Silk Song, I haven't really played that much. Not in the last couple of, maybe last week or so. Since I've been playing the supermarket game and Blueprints. I've also...
This area is full of great navigation features, with coastline, highways, cities and bridges. On a good weather day like this, it is everything we need to find our way.
Power Washer game's not bad. I'm glad it's free, because I don't, you know, after playing it for as long as I played the first one for, I just don't see anything really new in the second one that's gonna like continue to drive me to play it. Oh shit. Right, let's go back inside the cabin for a while, where it's easier to do this. Easier to keep it level when I'm inside. Alright, there's Golden Gate on our left up there. You can kind of see it. I think that's where this lesson ends.
Make sure to keep us at 2,800 feet altitude.
You know what, buddy? That's the first time you've had to say something about the altitude tonight. Maybe the second time, but it wasn't like last night. Last night you were telling us like every 5 minutes. I thought we could be a little bit below 2,800. But I guess not, right? We're going to be making a left here pretty soon towards the bridge.
really unique location. Make a left turn and point us towards our next waypoint, Alcatraz. Just crossing the nose now, across the San Francisco Bay, is the Golden Gate Bridge, one of the world's most iconic landmarks.
Yep. Seems to be blown up every movie it's in.
Ahead is the city of San Francisco itself, with Oakland Bay Bridge further left in the windscreen. The larger island ahead of the nose is Angel Island.
See the lights of the runway right here.
Alcatraz is the much smaller island to the left of Angel Island and is famous for its prison for dangerous criminals, which closed in 1963. The lighthouse there is the oldest on the Pacific coast.
I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. I think the next thing I want to buy for my setup is
As we get
the
nearer,
head
you
tracking
can get
gear,
some
Track
stunning
IR, I
views
think
of
it's
the
called.
City and the bay. San Francisco and Oakland airports are not far south from here, so
That's true.
Alcatraz is about as close as we can get to the built-up areas.
It kind of makes sense then, I guess. Okay. Even though I think an airplane landing at San Francisco or Oakland might be lower than 3,000 at this point. But then again, I guess ATC would tell us. Even though we're VFR flying. That's the part that confuses me. Like, we have pretty much free reign and we're flying visually as long as we're under 2,800 feet, but then, like, if an airplane's landing, like does somebody notify us, or are we like supposed to see it? Like, that's dumb to me. Like, that's a stupid thing if we're like supposed to keep an eye out for airliners coming towards us at, 150, 200 knots. And or helicopters. I'll have to look into that. VFR airspace and all that. I have like a 300-page document stored to Microsoft, my OneDrive account. I have a whole folder for aviation. It's got like all the manuals, the guides and everything for like every plane I've bought, every DLC, anything that's got any sort of instruction manual with it. It's all stored in like one folder. And I know I have one that goes over like everything VFR. It's from the FAA. It's like 300 pages long. Goes over all the icons on the maps and different airspaces, squawking codes. It's really cool. It's a good guide. Are we turning left again?
Now take a right here and head straight towards the Golden Gate Bridge.
Do we fly under it? Like in Grand Theft Auto?
Painted in international orange for visibility in the
International
fog, the Golden
orange.
Gate Bridge is over a mile
That
in length, making
completely
it the
makes sense
world's
for this city.
longest suspension bridge at the time it was completed in 1937.
Wow, 37. Wow, almost 100 years old. That's crazy.
800 feet and weigh 22,000 tons each.
Wow.
Suspending the roadway beneath them, carrying over 100,000 vehicles per day.
That's cool. Lars, where are you at, Lars? Take me on tour. I'll play Creeping Death and, I don't know, Whiplash. What two songs I'll play? I'll play any song. I know them all. I know every Metallica song. Just about. I know it maybe as well as you do. Call me up. Miss one of your shows, leave early, be late. All right, that should pretty much wrap up this this training montage here for.
Fantastic. We've made our way here by using a simple stepping stone method of picking out visible features and hopping from one to the other.
Yep, we did.
This works fine for locations with lots of iconic features such as landmarks, bridges, and major towns and cities.
Sounds good to me.
Next we'll look at taking more efficient and direct routes to where we want to go.
Very, very cool. I like that we've gotten like a perfect score on everyone. Well, my friends, I think that's gonna finish up things for today. I'll be back. I don't know if I'll be back in the morning, but I'll be back on some point tomorrow. God willing, I'll be back on at some point tomorrow. And I think we might do that bush trip for a while in California tomorrow. That the Yosemite to let me look at it real quick. As soon as Microsoft decides to cooperate. Come on, Microsoft. Yeah, bitch. Come on. All right, under activities, it's under bush trips. Yeah, this one here is so much fun. So you go from Brecken. Oh no, we're going from. Oh yeah, Breckenridge to Yosemite. But I mean, it's a long look. It takes 9.5 hours to do. It's 25 legs. Each leg is like, I think we're going to do that. We're going to start that tomorrow, I think. Because this is a fun little airplane to fly, and we can fly really close to the ground, and we're just doing like visual the whole time. So I think we're going to start that tomorrow, maybe. Thinking about it. This one's kind of fun. This one's really fun too, but there's navigation in the airplane you can use. And that, to me, that takes away from the bush trip aspect of it, when you can just set your autopilot and the navigation, and that's that. So anyways, all right, I am getting out of here. I'm gonna go get something to eat. I'll be back tomorrow, my friends. Hit like, subscribe, and follow, and we'll talk about some news tomorrow. There is a lot of shit going on. We're gonna talk about some shit tomorrow. Anyway, that's about it, my friends. Hit like, subscribe, follow. I think I just said that twice in a row. You don't need to do it twice, just do it once. I'll see you on the next episode of the Airplane Show. See you.